I bought and tested a bunch of straight edge jigs, and I'm here to tell you it's time to sell your track saw and maybe even your table saw and save a couple $100 while you're at it, but only if you buy the right jig. So I'm going to show you 8 options ranging from $0 to $120, including this crazy Japanese imported one, and give you my recommendations so that you can get the most bang for your buck out of your humble circular saw. Let's get started. Starting off with the cheapest method, one that's probably gotten you in trouble before when it comes time to final assembly, certainly has gotten me in trouble in the past, and that's doing it freehand. Yep, just like the pioneers did. Now, if you're a top hat and pipe kind of fellow, you'll set up your board on a workbench, clamp it down securely, and go from there. Or maybe you're a complete monster who takes your board, throws that puppy over your foot, and lets her rip. Whatever your vibe is, you're going to be very disappointed with the accuracy and the end result, which is why I think a jig is a great way to invest in straight cuts without having to invest hundreds and hundreds of dollars in a dedicated track saw or even a dedicated table saw. But let's score the freehand method anyway, just as our starting point. Now, if you actually want to build a project that you're not embarrassed to show your wife, you're going to want some sort of straight edge. If you're like me, the first place you'll start is Harbor Freight, and you'll find this Pittsburgh model for about 12 bucks for 24 inches of capacity, and think to yourself, what could possibly go wrong? Well, those are famous last words when it comes to buying a Harbor Freight, as you probably know. Build quality is unexceptional. I actually had to return this one because the piece on the back was completely loose, so it would not even stay straight when I clamped it down. And although Pittsburgh tools have a great lifetime warranty, the other replacements that were on the shelf at the time of Harbor Freight were all pretty banged up and dented and just didn't look in great shape in one way or the other. So I picked out the best one that I could find and tried it out to see if it could finally accomplish the one job it actually has, which is to cut straight. Now, I do like that it has an integrated clamping mechanism, so you don't need to bring extra clamps to the party, but the integrated clamp is unfortunately pretty aggressive. It actually left these tear marks in the side of my 3/4 inch MDF workbench, and on smaller stock, it might not be usable at all because there's a gap between the bottom of the rail and the top of that integrated clamp, meaning project panels that are like 1/8 of an inch thick or so will slip right underneath and you won't really be able to use it. Now, this thing is obviously made for longer cuts, in this case 24 inches. There's also a 56-inch model that you can get that's a little more expensive, but has that bigger capacity. But let's talk about cross-cutting. Now, this will work because that clamp does come inward, but it's pretty awkward because it comes to one side, not to the middle. And when that happens, you have a long piece hanging off the edge. Now, another cool thing about this that I should mention is that you can actually cut angles with this. The back piece is designed to tilt, but it doesn't have an integrated angle gauge of any sort, so you'll need to bring along your own square or angle gauge. Now, once you do get it attached to your workpiece, cut quality is fine. It's definitely going to be straighter than freehand, which is kind of the point, but you're not going to get a lot of the anti-splintering features that you might get with some of our other options that we'll talk about soon. So this is a decent option with some build quality concerns, and I'd happily take it over nothing. I mean, it's much better than freehand, but I think there are going to be better solutions that we'll talk about soon. And also keep in mind, Harbor Freight isn't the only brand to make this style of clamping straight edge. There's one from Bora and others that are probably better quality. I just think this design overall is not really my favorite. So here's how we're going to rate and rank the Harbor Freight Pittsburgh straight edge clamp. All right, moving on to one of my favorite methods. It's a tool that you probably already have in your shop, and that's a speed square. Now, I own a bunch of different speed squares from different brands and different colors, but you really can't go wrong with a 12-inch Swanson speed square. It's a classic tool. You can buy them for around 15 bucks at your big box store, and it's going to be one of the much easier to set up methods that we're going to talk about on this list. You literally just throw it down in your wood and let her rip. Simple and utilitarian. Now, out of the box, you can obviously cut 90 degrees, you can cut 45 degrees because of the built-in angle, but you can actually cut more angles than that, particularly if you invest a couple bucks in a stair gauge that you can attach to the speed square, find your angle, heighten it, and then you can really cut whatever angle you want, which is pretty cool. It adds a lot of versatility to this method. Now, as far as cross-cutting goes, as you can imagine, this thing gets the job done as long as it's within the capacity of the speed square. In this case, 12 inches, pretty much the biggest ones that you're going to find. And therein lies the problem of this, is that you are up against a pretty short, fixed cutting capacity. So with a method like this, it's great for cross-cuts. For rip cuts, most of the time, it's not going to give you enough length to get the job done. So this is a great, cheap, utilitarian method that can get a lot of your cutting done, but it's not going to be the most versatile overall. So here's how we're going to rate and rank the speed square. Now, the speed square is a great generalist tool. Like I said, you probably already have one in your shop. So what about a different take on the speed square that's much more specialized? And that's where the Kreg portable crosscut comes into play. Clearly, you can see where the design inspiration came from, but don't write off this jig as just a plastic version of a speed square. You do have some additional features that do help to justify the slightly higher cost of around $20 or so, like adding Kreg's signature signature non-slip pads underneath, which can be really helpful, especially because an aluminum speed square can get slippery sometimes, depending on what wood you're working with or depending on the weather conditions. So those do a great job of planting the jig down on the wood a little bit better than your classic speed square is going to be able to. It also adds this pretty cool curve guide, which you can calibrate to the exact measurements of your specific saw. The idea of it is so that when you plant this down in your wood, you know where your cut line is going to be before you put your circular saw on top. But personally, I don't really find this much easier than doing it kind of in the reverse with a speed square, where you put it on the wood, put your circular saw down, and then adjust from there. So not the most useful feature to me, but I think it's a really cool idea. Now, something that is really useful is that it gives you a little platform to start your cut with. In other words, your circular saw has somewhere to sit before it starts your cut. That way you're not starting in midair, which can throw off your edges if you're not careful. Now, for all those benefits, like I mentioned, you do give up the sturdy metal build. This thing is made of plastic. It doesn't feel flimsy, but it definitely doesn't feel as robust as a solid piece of aluminum. And another limitation of the Crosscut is it's limited to 8 inches, whereas with the speed square, you can get it in multiple different sizes. And again, because of that length limitation, you're not going to really be doing rip cuts with this thing. It's Crosscut only, as the name suggests. So I like what Kreg is going for here, but it's really hard to compete with the simplicity and durability and cheaper cost of a speed square. So this is how we're going to rate and rank the Kreg portable crosscut. Now, we've seen so far in some of the cheaper jigs that there's a lot of ways to make good crosscuts, but if you're really going to replace a track saw, you're going to need to be able to do rip cuts as well. And that's where something like the Milescraft Rip Guide comes into play. Now, Milescraft is probably a brand you think about as making cheaper Kreg knockoff tools, and that is the case pretty often. This Rip Guide is about 20 bucks, where the Kreg version is around 50. The Kreg does have a handle on it, which is kind of cool. But honestly, after testing the Milescraft, I'm pretty impressed with the quality and the usability, as we'll get into in a second. But just know that there are other options out there. But whatever one you pick, the idea behind it is that with this kind of design, where your jig is attached to your saw and not attached to your wood, you get unlimited cutting capacity, at least in theory. But the results are pretty good. I had no issues smoothly gliding my saw along the workpiece with this jig and holding it really securely. I mean, this thing for 20 bucks is a massive upgrade over even that little metal rip guide that may have come with your circular saw. And this is a huge upgrade for 20 bucks over that little metal rip guide that may have come with your circular saw in the first place. So this thing is awesome for rip cuts. Now, for cross cuts, it's also going to be possible. It does depend on the width of your cross cuts. For anything wider than like 8 to 12 inches, you're going to get pretty good stability going across. But if you're cross cutting like a 2x4, you don't really have enough room on the edge for that guiding piece to really feel very stable. So it's going to get the job done. Again, it's going to be much better than freehanding it, but this isn't really made for shorter cross cuts. So if you're cutting a lot of 2x4s, it might feel a little bit sketchy. Something to note also is that because you're relying on a guiding piece on the edge, you are relying on the straightness of your wood to get a straight cut. So just keep track of which edge of the wood is the factory edge. That way you can be a little bit more confident in the end results you get actually being straight and accurate. Now we're going to move upmarket a little bit and halfway across the world while we're at it. And that's the Tajima SD250, which is an imported cross-cutting jig from Japan. Now, it took me a little bit to kind of figure out how this thing is oriented and how to use it, but once you get the hang of it, it's dead simple. Where it really separates itself and earns that extra price versus something like the Speed Square or the Crosscut is it has an integrated angle gauge in it. So you can actually tilt this and lock it into place of whatever angle you want. You don't need an extra square with you. It's all integrated into one tool, which is really cool. It also feels really sturdy. I mean, the thing is solid metal and it has some rubber bits on it as well. So it gives you kind of that non-slip convenience that the Kreg gives you. Because you end up holding this piece to your wood and not something shaped like a giant triangle, you can really get your hand all the way around it. And it feels a lot more comfortable, in my opinion, than using a speed square. So even though it is a little more expensive, I think it's really well thought through. It works super well. And I took a bit of a flyer on this, but I'm really glad I did because I ended up really liking how this performs. Now, this is going to be a jig that falls under the cross-cutting only category. In this case, you're getting a max 10 inches of length. Again, falls right in between like the Speed Square and the Kreg Crosscut. So just know that limitation going in, but you know, depending on the projects you work on, that might be enough for you. So overall, I think it's an improvement on this style of straight edge jig. So this is how we're going to rate and rank the Tajima SD250. So far, we've seen a lot of really great jigs. Some of them are better at crosscuts, some of them better at rip cuts. Well, if you're somebody that doesn't like the compromise, this next option is going to be for you. About $120, the Milescraft TrackSawGuide does exactly what the name suggests. It turns your circular saw into effectively a track saw. I mean, honestly, if you take a couple steps back and you squint, you might not even be able to tell the difference at a passing glance between this and a real track saw. So you mount your existing track saw into this platform, pop it on the rail, and go. Now, the initial setup can be a bit of a bear. It's a little bit tricky to figure out how to get things aligned right away, but once you do it once, it'll kind of become second nature and you can can get set up in easily under a minute or so. Now, what I really like is that they include clamps. If you've ever bought a real track saw, you know that oftentimes clamps that are specific to the rails are an extra cost, and they can be pretty expensive, but this actually includes it. So Festool, I'm looking at you. You should be ashamed of yourself for this one. Now, you don't even have to use those clamps if you don't want to. It has non-skid pads underneath, and it has enough weight to it in itself, and the circular saw adds enough weight that for the most part, you can just plop it down and go. You'll still probably want to hold the back of the rail with your hand, but I find working this way, just kind of popping it down and going, is a much quicker way to kind of get through your project breakdowns. Now, what's cool about this is it's also pretty portable, which is great if you have a small shop. The full length comes out 55 inches, but it's actually made up of 2 separate rails that link together perfectly. So you can get as much as 55 inches from it if you need that, or you can just use one rail at 27.5 inches for smaller rip cuts or even cross cuts, which is really cool. Now, similar to the Harbor Freight straight edge that we tried before, you are going to have some overhang, but the thing is, you can actually center this onto the board, plus with those clamps, plus the fact that it has some of its own weight to it, means that even though you have that overhang, it does feel pretty balanced when you do make crosscuts, even on smaller boards. So what's really cool about that is when you make cut and you get to the end, your circular saw doesn't just dive off the table and mess up your edge. And this is also the only store-bought jig that we're going to talk about that gives you a true zero clearance edge. What does that mean? It means that there's this piece of plastic on top, and that's going to give you a nicer end result with less splintering and less tear out, which can make even a dummy like me look like a professional. You can also pair this system with some accessories like an integrated square, or if you're really serious about repeatability and accuracy, you can even buy a really high quality set of TSO parallel guides. You do have to buy an extra adapter, but these guides are really well regarded throughout the industry. The only problem is that they are obnoxiously expensive. I'm not really sure what that's about. They don't really have a lot of high quality competitors at the moment. Hopefully that changes as these kinds of systems get more popular, but if you really are looking to replace your table saw for those repeatable, accurate cuts, this could be a worthy investment to really get the most out of this system or really any track saw. So as far as downsides go, there are definitely a few. Compared to the rest of these jigs, it is relatively expensive, although at $120, it's still much cheaper than an actual track saw. But a real track saw is going to give you plunge functionality, meaning you can start your cut in the middle of a workpiece. So if that's something that you think you're going to be using a lot, investing in a real track saw is going to be really the only good option for that. And also, as far as I can tell, you can't cut angled edges with this thing. And I know a lot of track saws can do that. If those are features that you think you're going to use, yes, investing in a real track saw could be worth it for you. But I think for 99% of people, especially hobbyists, that is never or rarely going to come up. And if it does come up for a project every once in a while, hopefully you have a friend who can borrow their track saw. Now, if all that conversation about money and costs made you clutch your pearls a little bit, hold on a second. I do have one more option that you can't buy in a store, but could be a really great budget option. And that's just making one yourself. It's actually a lot easier than you think. And this channel is all about taking the gatekeeping out of woodworking. So I'm not just going to point you guys towards the most expensive affiliate links possible. I'm here to tell you it's super easy to make your own zero clearance straight edge with a single sheet of MDF. In my case, I just picked up 1/4 sheet piece of MDF project panel, cut it long ways, about at the 1/3 mark. What you really want to make sure is that you end up with one wider and one narrower piece. And when you put them on top of each other, you have enough underhang from that wider piece to cover the width of your circular saw. That way you can glue it all up, making sure that the factory edge of the narrower piece is facing inwards, facing what your circular saw is going to cut through. Once it's dry, take your circular saw, cut across. What you're going to end up with is a zero clearance edge. This gives you a lot of the same anti-splintering features that the Milescraft jig gives you, but it's homemade. A project panel like this costs around 10 or 15 bucks. Now, there are some downsides to this type of jig, namely durability. It's not going to be as sturdy as one of the metal jigs that we talked about, and it is going to be a little bit more prone to the environment. MDF is a pretty stable material, but it could still swell with humidity, meaning it could kind of push that zero edge off a little bit, and you're definitely not going to want to get it wet because MDF soaks up water like a sponge. Now, while it's great that you can, in theory, make this as long as you need for your project, keep in mind that the longer you make it, the harder it's going to be to store this thing. So that's why I think a DIY approach is probably the best overall budget option. Now, the overall winner in terms of versatility, build quality, and really the best overall choice if you're serious about replacing a track saw and saving some money that way is going to be the Milescraft TrackSawGuide. And I know it's the most expensive jig, but here's the thing. I'm not going to put any affiliate links in this video, so I really have no reason to pick this as the winner other than the fact that I genuinely have really enjoyed using this for the time that I've had it. And if you can budget for something like this, I think it's going to provide a ton of value for your shop. And I want to give an honorable mention to the Tajima SD250 because that was the biggest surprise of this whole test. I didn't think I was going to like it much more than the Speed Square, and I didn't really think it would be worth a $40 cost, but I gotta say, I just love the design and how it feels to use. And I love how low profile it is for storage storage. It can't accomplish every cut that you want to make in your shop, but it is a monster at crosscuts. And I have to say this because I'm going to get this in the comments. I always do. This video is not sponsored. I'm just giving my honest opinion based on my real world testing because I'm on a mission to take the gatekeeping out of woodworking. So if you're interested in more content, please hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon on your way out. And until the next video, always remember to enjoy the build. Thanks for watching.